What's good, guys? Today I'm going to talk about one of the most popular sitcoms of the early 2000s, a show that I grew up with and loved as a teenager and a preteen and a teenager. It was a very popular show. I'm sure you've heard of it. It's called That 70's Show. Of course, this is the show that what's his name, Ashton Kutcher premiered in. uh, that Topher Maguire, whatever the main character Eric in the shows, and of course Meg from Family Guy. What's her name? Like Mila Kunis. I think she was actually in Family Guy before she was in that 70s show. I'm not sure about that, but the first time that we saw her face and were introduced to her as a human, not cartoon person, was in that 70s show. And, a lot of big people were in that show, and it was very influential. They even had like a That 80s show that only had one season and never really took off. I don't think I saw like one episode of that. I saw the first episode, I think, when it came out. I was like maybe 13 years old, maybe younger, but it was not good. That 70s show, on the other hand, is entertaining. It has entertainment value. But there are very insidious ideas that they promote. And I'm just going to go through a few of those ideas and explain how they um, exhibit these behaviors and ideas. So, a very common thing in the show is they'll all be getting ready to do something fun or something productive, and they'll end up smoking weed in the basement and talking about the same things, which is always like a car that runs on water. That's like they're always talking about a car that runs on water when they smoke weed in Eric's basement, and they will always be like, "Oh man, it's the end of the decade. We've got to do something real fun and important, something we've never done before, or this," and then they end up smoking weed and wasting time and brain cells. Uh, and I'm not saying that I'm against people who smoke weed. If you smoke weed, that's your business. But weed does make you, it makes you not as motivated to do things that you should do. Another thing in the show that is often happening is Donna questioning whether her relationship with Eric is going to fuck up her future, her career plans. She wants to be a DJ and a rock and roll columnist for Rolling Stone, but she's in love with a guy. And is her relationship worth her career? I mean, there are very few people, I would say, whose careers are more valuable than their marriages. And the people whose careers are more valuable than their marriages are most of the time miserable people. So it just blows me away. I mean, they do it so effortlessly. So it's like you don't even question that she would be thinking about her relationship, even though they are in high school in the show. You have to add that into the picture for it to really be at all justifiable. But I would say, we push people to, or we don't push them, but it's more common in our society today to get married later in life when you're less likely to have children and you are more likely to settle for someone um, that you might not even really be that into because you've pushed everyone else away along the way. And I don't know. I think that if you are in a relationship as a teenager or a young adult, a 20-something year old, you know, if you don't hate that person and y'all get along and stuff, settle down, get married. I mean, I've been engaged twice. I never have been married, but I would love to be married. I love the idea of being married and having a loyal partner. That's just my problem. I've had problems finding people who want to stick it out with me. So, while I may sound kind of naive or hypocritical, maybe, possibly in a way, uh, I don't feel like I am being naive or hypocritical. I think that you should never compromise your morals or your true self. You should never compromise who you are, but you have to be willing to make compromises to make any relationship work. And I think that oftentimes um, people throw away someone who might have been their best option, the love of their life, because their favorite color was yellow. You know what I mean? And those types of things are not important. You can get past that. Uh, but yeah, in that 70s show, they're always, it seems like in every other episode, it's like Eric and Donna are about to break up. And it's for some kind of, usually really dumb reason. And it usually has to do something with money. And they're in high school, which is even more ridiculous. If you think about it, if a high school relationship is already thinking about the detriment that their relationship will have on their bank accounts, that's just disgusting to me. It's disgusting. And I mean, I do still like the show. I will fall asleep to it sometimes just because it's so familiar to me that it's not something that I really pay attention to. It's just like background noise. Um, but as I've seen this show several times, see every season several times, I realize every time that there's something that I missed that is just disgusting, and it's pushing, you know, immorality and just disgusting ideas that I disagree with, and but I never noticed them because it's delivered in such a uh, you know angelic way. They try to make everything seem like, oh, these kids are just having fun smoking weed in their basement. It's not like they're trying to be, they're not making it seem as if it's a bad thing to do. They make it seem like it's the right thing to do. And you know, at the end of the show, they don't even like they're just basically still in the same positions that they've been in their entire show, the entire show. They're just, living in the same place, smoking weed, and hanging out with the same people, talking about cars that run on water. So yeah, uh, the more I have seen the show, the less of a fan I become of it. But it's like I said, it's like one of those things that it's so familiar to me. It's good background noise because I don't pay attention to it. It's just something I have to have some kind of sound going on around me to fall asleep. If it's completely silent, any little sound completely, it keeps me awake. I have to have something to kind of drown out the my life. But yeah, I don't know, guys. I just thought I would share those ideas with you that I have about the show. I mean, I know it's kind of late, like, but you know, better late than never. I love you guys. Peace.